Chapter 923. Luffy, don't fight that damn Yonko. Oh, he got his ass beat. Nah, shit, dog. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Pod D Cast. I'm the best guy ever, and this is Hypocrite.
Ayoy.
Oh, Christ. It's chapter 923, Emperor Kaido versus Luffy.
Here it is at last.
That's what we're going to talk about. At the long-awaited conclusion to the Wano arc is here, the end.
The entire rest of the stuff doesn't matter because they're all dead.
Yeah, pretty much. That may or may not be true by the end of the chapter. A cover page, Sabo, Luffy, and Ace playing with bugs.
Oh.
How nice.
Oh, I've just realized on Jaimene's box they again wrote the words. Like on Ace's thing, it says King. On Luffy, it's like tiny letters, Unbreakable, just on the top there, like really not designed well.
That's why I opened my my fucking other tab here with Manga Stream, which did not translate them. We've addressed this. Please cease and desist. Put a translator's note if you really feel you need to, Jaimene's box, but I hate this. The kanji looks a million times better, and Luffy's shirt says Warenai, which means the same thing. Just leave it. Just leave it. It looks terrible with that Unbreakable on there. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You're fucking with fashion. You're fucking with fashion, and that's not acceptable. All right, let's get to the chapter here.
Yeah, so Luffy punches a Kaido right on the noggin with an elephant gun. And he smashes him right into the ground.
We had a lot of things to say about what that meant and why it happened. Let's see how they came out.
Yeah, so
his body's fucking everything up. He's just breaking everybody's roof.
He's falling everywhere.
Sucks.
All of the little guys are being like, "Oh no, what the fuck?"
I like the intensity in Luffy's face here too. He looks very serious, which is good. Which is appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah, just saying.
So he jumps down and he's like, "I'm so cool," and then he's like running back. Because I guess he thinks he's done enough. Like punched him once, and then he's running away back to the mountain to see if they're all right.
Yeah, that's true.
Shooting Mara's just sitting back, like, yeah, nothing happened. I'm cool. Back on his bison.
Yep, thick boy relaxing. And then we see Speedweed, executive producer, fucking knocked out on the side of the road, just collapsed. And she was with O-tama. So what's going on here? What's the deal?
Apparently, so Speed's here. She was with O-tama, and apparently Kaido intercepted them and beat them up. And somehow Speed made it all the way here.
Yeah.
And there's a few things obviously it's I don't know. It's just a bit weird how this all comes about, like, she got beat up by Kaido, but also arrived here just in time to collapse in front of Luffy after he punches Kaido. Like, what direction was Kaido coming from?
Are you trying to say this is a little convenient? Because that's a ridiculous thing to say. Who would make such a claim about a series such as One Piece?
I don't know whether it's convenient, because it doesn't really mean anything. Because Luffy was already mad about Kaido beating up all of his friends and killing them. He doesn't need to get information about Tama also being beat up. So I don't even know why this was put in here. It doesn't move the plot forward. It could have happened later. I don't know. Why did they do it like this?
I guess you know why I think it's happening. It's because of what happens at the end of the chapter. Like Luffy wouldn't be able to like talk to her later because he's gonna be dealing with some things and not able to communicate. I don't know. I guess Oda wanted us to have this information now about O-tama, that so Speed was not able to protect her, and Kaido did something. It's unclear. We see in this little flash bit here that Kaido shows up looking very smug. I like his face a lot as the dragon. So he had heard that Speed had betrayed them. Understandable. And so he fucked up Speed a little bit, and O-tama is not there. Though we see her fallen down on the road and her arm looking limp there. Yeah. So like, I mean
she's
this
fine.
is One Piece. She's not dead. Yeah. But maybe she's dead. You guys.
That's the apple's blood right there. That's all it is.
I believe that she got fucked up, but and you know what? I'll say this. So because again genre savviness, I don't think there's like any chance O-tama is actually dead. Though based on the way this is framed, I'll give you this though. With my advanced level shonen reading skills, you can tell that all the flashback panels here have like a dark tint to them. And so Speed made it back into town, and we saw, in the normal white-colored panels, she's here. In the flashback panel, we see O-tama there holding the apple and stuff. Then in the non-darkened, implying that they are current time panels, we see the broken apple that she was holding and her bloodied body, apparently alone on the road. Or there might be something in the back. There might be like the dog guy or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
So like it does appear that her body is currently lying in the middle of the road, which is to say that like she was not like taken anywhere, which does imply she was killed. I just don't believe it. I can't. It's One Piece, and I've had my shit fucked too many times to just believe that she's dead. So I can't.
Oh yeah, like Speed.
It's heavily implied.
If Speed was like still under the effects of the thing, just like this is my master, I must protect her. She would have brought her to Luffy.
Yeah,
to
if she
try
was
and
like
save
still.
him. Okay,
I mean, they could have gotten separated.
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think Speed probably distracted Kaido. In order to she probably O-tama got hit or something.
Yeah, she's hurt for sure.
But then Speed ran away, drawing Kaido away from her.
I'll say this is a small point, but it is worth mentioning. Somebody said this in the Discord. Like, it's possible that O-tama, if O-tama was actually dead, then you'd think that the effect that her devil fruit had on Speed of making her a collar master would wear off, which appears generally that seems to be the way devil fruits work. Now, that's not ironclad or anything, but it is one thing to keep in mind, I suppose.
There's no chance that this character that we've spent this time with, genre savviness, I don't like to rely on my knowledge of, how genres go, because so
if
often...
I didn't know anything about One Piece, I would think that she's dead, because that's what's being implied here. It's just that it doesn't really happen.
Well, not even just knowing about One Piece, but knowing about media. You don't have a character appear and have lines and then kill them off, even unless it's the main thing that makes the whole rest of the story go forward. There's a lot of other reasons to hate Kaido aside from this.
Well, you know what?
So it's it's not the reason why he would fight Kaido. He just fought him. It's already happening.
Here. I mean, that's true. But to be honest, I was the one complaining a lot about how I want Kaido to seem more evil and do more intimidating things. The fact that it's implying that Tama's dead, because we've been through all these adventures. I mean, there's been 3 separate instances of Tama being kidnapped and saved at this point, I think, or maybe it's just 2, whatever. To have her now killed after all the trouble that Luffy's gone through saving her multiple times, and her surviving being tortured and all this fucked up shit and kind of proving her usefulness. This is if she's actually dead, which I don't believe, if she was dead, I would say that's kind of a good way to make us intimidated of Kaido in terms of what he's kind of willing to do. It's just that I don't think she's actually dead, and I won't be convinced otherwise.
Regardless of death, it is still it's preferable that she gets bloodied rather than Kaido kidnaps her again.
I mean, that's true. That's true.
So it's a difference in that. It's not, oh no, she was captured, but no, she's just in the middle of the road bleeding to death. It's a very different thing.
Everything about this just reads that she should be dead, and that's what I think the story should be doing. But I don't know. I need more information. I've been too many times.
Whatever. I don't really mind too much about this. It's just it was just odd. It was just odd to me that it was brought up now, when it could have been brought up later as another moment.
I don't know. I kind of think it makes sense to come up in the middle of Luffy's basically fight with Kaido that's gotten started at this point, kind of. I was going to say something else.
The reason they do this is so that Luffy doesn't run back to the mountain to see if everyone's safe, and instead goes and fights
so the fight
Kaido.
Continues. Yeah,
but
that's true.
I just feel he would have if he went to the effort of punching Kaido in the head. I feel he would have also gone to the effort of facing off and saying, "Fuck you, Kaido! I'm gonna beat the shit out of you right now." without
is
the
true,
Tama
because
thing.
like it's not like he like was able to stop him from like killing his friends. It's that Kaido had seemingly already killed his friends, and now he was going to go punch him in the head. To what effect? I'm not totally sure.
Yeah.
Because he had already shot his blast. So
I mean, maybe
yeah,
it was like he realizes like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. I'll go check on my friends instead.
yeah.
But you know, and then
It's a
he
little
got
strange.
yeah, whatever.
You know, one final point, and I'll talk about this more throughout the chapter. But it's like, so I was saying before last chapter, I was complaining a little bit about like Kaido needs to do more intimidating stuff that makes him scary. And okay, if O-tama's dead, which I don't believe, then like good. Okay, we've now seen that Kaido's willing to kill people if she's dead, which I don't believe. But if she was, that would be the kind of thing I want to see more of, which is good. The thing is though, it should be kept in mind that Speed, like, he is the Yonko. In fact, Kaido is the most Yonko, I would say. Like, he's the like, nobody ever said that Big Mom is, like, an indestructible monster who, like, couldn't be killed until Whole Cake Island started, and then we find out about her being invulnerable and blah, 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 all that stuff, and her backstory. But Kaido has been built up as like this invincible fortress of a man who tries to kill himself and fails, and also like is leading the biggest war effort on the planet with Doflamingo and, you know, all the war machines he's creating and stuff. And, you know, we're gonna want to see some strength to back that up if he's the guy on top of this fucking army. And like he killed a little girl. He killed a little girl. So
And he didn't even kill Speed.
And that's what I was going to say. He, quote-unquote, killed a little girl and failed to successfully kill Speed. He, like, beat her up a little bit, I guess. So I'm just saying, it's kind of, like, double-edged. Like, this is not a serious complaint. It's just, I don't feel that this has fully addressed my concerns yet. So I'm just giving people the update on I still need more of that, I guess. But you know what? There's going to be more of that this chapter, so let's move it along.
Yeah, let's go. So Luffy's like double mad. Law comes in and say, "What are you fucking doing? We got to get out of here."
Kaido has extremely low respect for Whammon, and Luffy can't tolerate that. He's got to get in there.
And Luffy's like, "No, fuck the plan. Fuck everything. We're all dead. This is it. If I beat Kaido right now, then this will be the end." And
these
so
are one of these moments
this
is one of these moments I complain about Luffy. Like, everyone's like, oh my god, Luffy's such a great leader. No. Law is the great organizer and leader here. This is Luffy jeopardizing everything for the sake of beating up a guy, you know, that's way stronger than him, probably. I mean, Luffy's just cocky as hell and assumes he can beat a Yonko, which... It's just, he shouldn't assume that.
Luffy's never been like a good leader. I think the word people,
No.
they've been using the word wrong. It's really that he's a good pirate captain.
Because
a pirate captain has to be a big old strutting his stuff like, I'm the coolest guy in the world, fuck you, I'll beat you up.
I mean, it depends on the kind of pirate captain. Like, I would say that Law is a pretty effective pirate captain who
what I mean is the difference between a pirate captain and a navy captain. Like, a navy captain is very level-headed and thinks very strategic. A pirate captain is like an idealistic, cool, badass dude that does whatever he fucking wants and always lives.
I think in a past episode, I don't remember when, you and I kind of went over like the two different types of captains, and I was like, I like Law. He's like a super cool, edgy. No, like I was praising Law rarely as like a calculating guy, which makes sense as a way to like, you have to be smarter than everyone if you want to actually rule the world in the real world. But then Luffy is a charismatic leader, like Hitler. Luffy is Hitler. That should be the title of this episode of the podcast. Whatever. He's charismatic. He inspires people. Like, that's his talent.
Would that make Kaido the one true Jew? Is that what we're going for?
Oh, it's that. Remember that whatever. It's like an art thing or whatever. There was a Family Guy clip of like Hitler's at the gym working out. Then he looks over and there's like the super swole Jew getting all the girls. That is Kaido, the world's swollest Jew. That should be the title of this episode. Also. Oh, demonetized again. All right. Anyway, so that's it. Luffy's mad. He's real mad. He's gonna fight.
So Yonko boy says, it's you, and he's like, Luffy, it's me, the one who'll become the Pirate King. Immediate death beam, immediate death blast. Like, no, that's not true. It's me.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't even know whether Kaido cares. But
well,
fuck
we'll
this.
see.
Fuck
we'll
this
see.
guy who bopped me in the head. So I don't like being bopped in the head.
That's true. Let's address this before we move on, because so Kaido definitely experienced the sensation of getting his head pushed down at a high rate of force, I think, but like clearly it did not like hurt him badly at the very least, right? Even if it hurt him a little bit, which I'm hedging my bets, but it looks like he basically wasn't hurt at all, which is good. I think that'll be confirmed like next chapter, but
it would be like the equivalent of getting a tennis ball flung at your head, like ow.
Yeah,
like come on, who would do that?
Hey now, watch it. But Kaido, he recognizes a guy fucking with him who's saying that he wants to be the Pirate King. And so he does a big blast and kills many of his own crew, it seems. Samurai and beastmen.
He just doesn't give a shit.
He does not give a shit.
Luffy jumps up and he does elephant gatling. So like a huge big move. Kaido just sort of takes all the hits. He's like, what? God damn it.
It looks like he's getting hurt. Like, it bears a resemblance to what it would look like if Kaido was getting hurt.
I think Kaido is getting, like, more than, like, nothing. And, I agree. I feel like this is something that's good because, like, you always say, like, Luffy is the guy who beat Katakuri. He has to be shown being really, really, really strong. I feel like this is hurting him. It's just like barely enough to do like anything.
It's like if you folks out there at home have read Problem Sleuth, it's like when I forget the name of the bad guy, Mobster Hatman or whatever his name was. Mobster Kingpin, thank you. When he had his incredibly gigantic, ever-expanding max HP bars that just kept being generated. And they were dealing massive damage to him, but his HP bar was just so fucking big, it didn't make a difference ultimately. I feel
and they kept
a similarity there. Yeah, that's what I feel like.
And Kaido's gonna get his like brassiere or whatever it was, the corset, and tighten it endlessly.
Corset, yes, that's right. To become the density of a black hole-ified star.
Googleplex black hole or something.
Yeah, that's the one.
Very funny.
Very good series.
So Kaido gets bopped, he gets crunched, and then he turns back into his human form.
Oh, and I'm just saying that I'm glad to see, it's quite clear in this chapter, we can see that he is a huge dragon. Like, we can see him, like, shrinking down. So I've gotten a feel for his scale, which I'm just very glad to see. He's huge.
Yes.
So that's good. That's good.
Notable thing, like, people had been saying, we talked about it before, what if Kaido's a dragon and he ate a different fruit or whatever?
Yeah.
I don't think it's, there's nothing to suggest that it is true, but there is something to suggest that that's possible, because they haven't outright said he's a devil fruit user. They haven't outright said he's a zone user. They keep saying he's the strongest beast, and right now they say he went back to his human form, not saying that is like his normal form. They just said his human form.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I'm going to check fucking Manga Stream just to check the same page and see if it has anything different in terms of the translation for that. It says he's returned to his human form. Okay, so it's the same.
I'm getting convinced of the viability of this as like a legitimate theory.
I'm ready to say 100%. It is possible. It is possible. That's I'm going hard line in saying that. I remember we had mentioned this before, but some people had said that like one of the reasons people say that is specifically because he has been referred to as the strongest creature in the world. So like they're like, I mean, he's a creature,
and also the idea of him being like a dragon, that became a pirate when he ate a human fruit or like gained the ability to look like a human, and also like the fact that he's a Yonko because he's so strong. Yeah, but also that he's not the leader of Wano. He's just a big guy who's like the general, governor general, viceroy. So he's not in charge. Like, it seems strange for a pirate to not want to be in charge of a big old thing.
I guess so.
So, like, if he's a dragon and he's super strong, his status might not be because of his... I mean, he's clearly, like, vicious and bloodthirsty, but, like, not hungry for power because he has too much... Like, he's just too, like, inherently powerful. He's like, I don't know what to do. I'm just a guy. I just don't want to get fucking wasted.
I feel, it's like, if you could ask Kaido why he wants to be Pirate King, he'd probably say something like, so that he could start a big war, or, like, something like that.
It'd probably be like, it would be like, there's nothing better to do. I've done everything else.
Yeah, that's true. he's very interesting as a suicidal hero.
I really want to learn more about him and his deal.
I need more. Shit, I was gonna say something else. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I just want to know more. So yeah, still fighting. Here goes Luffy.
He comes with Gear 4th. He goes
full.
Man.
So we're seeing him. This was important to me to say, and this is good because what I think Oda is doing here is he is showing us Luffy fighting Kaido at max power. This is like when Luffy went Gear 4th with Katakuri. At first, Katakuri was stopping Luffy from going Gear 4th because once Luffy was able to go Gear 4th, he was able to hurt Katakuri. We should definitely remember that. But he is using and he is hitting, and I think this is intentional. It's to kind of juxtapose this Kaido fight versus the Katakuri one. Because yes, Katakuri got hit a bunch, but with Katakuri, Gear 4th was ultimately effective when Luffy was able to hit him. But he's hitting Kaido a lot right now, and we shall see.
He's not dodging whatsoever.
No, he hasn't dodged anything so far. In fact, and this is also like part of it. The whole knowing the thing that he's suicidal is really good for this, because we can. I feel like a lot of people are agreeing that we can infer that like Kaido is probably like excited to fight new people, to find out like maybe this guy's the one who can fucking kill me, or at least. You know what? I get the sensation that Kaido probably is in fact bored with life, but if he came up against someone who like was actually able to kill him, that would like give him the spark of life and excitement in himself, and he'd be like, wait, yes, I do want to live, so I can like fight these guys. Now there's excitement in my life, as opposed to like specifically just hating being alive. You know, it's more the boredom aspect, I'd say. But whatever.
Yeah, I like that, especially the idea that potentially Luffy in some fashion could do that to him, give him the courage to go on, and then like all that does is that makes Kaido like work harder to become the Pirate King, and then it's just more difficult.
Yeah, but
you know, like,
there'd probably be a really cool. You know, I was totally wrong about my prediction about like a party feast at the end of Whole Cake. Maybe they could come to an agreement and actually have a little party with Kaido at the end of this arc, and then they'd part ways toasting each other as like enemies, basically. And then they'd meet in the field somewhere.
I definitely feel like Kaido is more of a potential party guy than Big Mom. Despite Big Mom having a lot of parties anyway, that she's just sort of she's you know.
She has retard strength, which makes her, you know, a formidable force to be reckoned with, but it makes her less able to, like, party down with, you know, because of the retardation.
So, yeah, Luffy's going full Gear 4th. He's doing everything. He's hitting Kaido in every possible spot.
In the face, in the guts,
he's definitely going all out. This is, like, as hard as he could possibly go. Then Kaido's on the ground. He got on the ground.
Mm-hmm. He sure did.
and he was visibly getting hurt. He was going like,
yeah.
So like, this is like, this the beginnings of like, oh, maybe Luffy can do it. And then he just stands up. You know, he sighs. He stands up and just beats the shit out of him with one club.
He does. He pulls out his club. I don't know where he was keeping that club. My guess is up his ass. And then he
probably has it under his cape.
Yeah, probably. Or up his ass, you know, that's also possible. And then he does a little Divine Thunder Samurai Slash dash. And people in the Discord were going extremely autistic about how, like, it actually doesn't make sense that he could, like, dash through him, and, like, why didn't he get, like, squished by the club? He used it like a sword, but, it's a club, not a sword. Relax, guys. It's okay. He's really good with the club.
Well, I mean, he hits him, and then you see like Luffy like spinning up high into the air and then smashing down on the ground.
If we're gonna get a little autistic about it, which I'm happy to do, it seems to me he does do effect like if Zoro had done this same move of dashing through Luffy, I feel like with a sword as opposed to this club, I feel that Luffy's reaction here would be exactly the same, because all that happens to Luffy when he gets hit is he falls straight backwards. He doesn't like go flying. It's that when he, like, you can see like he's exhaling the air from Gear 4th and turning small again. That's when he goes flying in the air. Yeah. So whatever. You know, I will say this one panel of Kaido doing like a samurai dash, like, okay, cool. Kaido's doing an attack. I like that. And I see the black lightning that makes me think hockey, like Conqueror's hockey. I don't know if that's necessarily implied. Whatever. Looks cool. I kind of would have liked to see like a little bit more of like a cool looking attack, but maybe it's implying that this is Kaido, you know, he's clearly really fast, because people were also saying like, didn't Luffy just like level up his observation haki? Like, how did this happen that he, you know, whatever. I mean, maybe Luffy literally did predict it, but Kaido was just too fast for it to be avoided. So, you know.
Yeah, I feel like this is supposed to be like a very strong looking attack.
Yeah.
But like a not very involved looking attack. Like his pose, he's using one hand. He's not really moving his body that much. He looks like he's almost standing doing this. Yeah. And this is obviously to imply that it doesn't even take that much of his strength to instantly destroy Luffy.
After everything that Luffy did, like, basically Kaido appears to be unfazed completely. Yeah.
Literally is not even his final form, because he can turn into a dragon.
That's true. They'll just flip back and forth. Ooh, he'll probably have a cool hybrid form. I mean, maybe he's in a hybrid form. I don't know. That's possible.
If he's not a zone and he is a dragon, then he might just be a dragon that can become a human.
Well, hang on.
That's...
you mean like as a special thing, as he's...
Yeah, as a special thing, because the only reason I say that, and probably similar, you know, reason people are imagining that he could have that form power, is things like World of Warcraft dragons, in order to talk to people instead of like being a huge model that can't fit inside buildings, would shrink themselves down and become an illusionary human form. And then it'll be okay.
That's a pretty common trope, actually, dragons taking the form of humans and stuff. So, yeah, I mean, it's possible, I suppose. I personally think that the most likely thing is that Kaido is a human or something like a human who ate a dragon devil fruit. But, yeah, we don't know. We'll see.
Yep.
And then Kaido gives him a little cheeky, what kind of king did you say you'll be? Gotcha. And then there's Luffy throbbing in the dome. He's unconscious. Like, he's wrecked. Although this face looks fairly similar to, like, the face that Luffy made when, like, Katakuri, like, impaled him and slashed through. So, like, this is a serious attack, obviously. Definitely hurt him a lot. He's got the whites of his eyes showing, so that's telling in shonen trope language. He's not dead, obviously, but he's...
Yeah.
Basically, this is all... Okay, Luffy used his strongest stuff. He really tried to beat up Kaido. This is all for our sake, people. Oda is telling us Luffy tried as hard as he could. It did not defeat Kaido, and Kaido in one shot, took down Luffy.
This is what I wanted, so fair. It's very good. Very, very,
this is what we needed.
Scary.
Yep. That's good. Another thing, like, I kind of would have liked just a cooler looking attack from Kaido. This is just pure, like, this attack. I've seen this kind of dash slash a lot. It's fine. It's low key. You know, wouldn't mind something a little cooler looking, but
it's low key, but it's no Thor, you know.
Oh man, fucking that one move. That actually I think was Nami. Oh wait, did you say El Thor as in fucking Eneru?
No, I made a joke because you said low key and I said Thor.
Oh shit. Well, speaking of that, I will say this: Eneru's presence when they got to Skypiea as like literal god who would bring down judgment with these like gigantic divine blasts from heaven. All I'm saying is more intimidating than Kaido. That's all I'm saying, people. Literally better than Kaido is my point.
I feel like this,
you know what? That's a great example, actually. Eneru's presence was so immense. It like matched Big Mom's. In fact, it was stronger than Big Mom's because people were afraid to say anything at any time against Eneru and Skypiea. Like the whole world was scared of Eneru overhearing them because he had that power with his mantra and his electrical, control powers. I'm just saying, that's how you set up like a crazy villain.
It's
ideally with that kind of shit. And so if Kaido's just a big guy who walks around and is like, meh, scary, that's fine, but I want more, I guess. I still want more.
Yeah, Eneru is more of a theatrical introduction. Like, true, and he was a mystery. Like, we didn't know that he had a devil fruit.
Well, these characters are all mysteries until we meet. Like, if Kaido could have not shown up, last chapter and could have shown up in 200 chapters or something.
Well, people were talking about Kaido's introduction where he killed Eustace Kid and tried to commit suicide and stuff, and that
was a great intro.
So they were saying we were discounting that for some reason, and I guess we didn't bring it up
Well, what about the fact that literally, so him committing suicide added a ton to his character and made it intimidating as like, wow, he was able to survive this. But he defeated Law off screen, which like, okay, like, sure, we can check the box. Okay, he defeated this guy. So his power level is obviously over, 2,185. So that's fine. But like, it doesn't, everything I'm talking about is about making an impression on the audience. I believe that Kaido is an incredibly intimidating force who controls much of the world and blah, 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 whatever. What I'm saying is, in shonen terms, I want to be intimidated by him physically on screen, and surviving a suicide attempt, like, I'm just saying that doesn't make him scary. That makes him seem durable, which is fine. That's good. That's real good. And again, he showed himself as durable in this chapter as well. But like, and I'm giving him time. I'm giving him time to prove himself. We saw him do the Dragon Blast, very intimidating. Like, I want him to like hit someone with the Dragon Blast and watch them fucking die. That's what I want. I don't know. I'm not trying to nitpick people. I know I've got high expectations.
No,
here.
it's not. It's not the nitpicks. It's like, I don't know, like how, like obviously. Mm-hmm. He's like supposed to, I don't know, the supposed to be scary part.
Yeah.
Like, or intimidating. I think he's clearly intimidating. He has a Dragon Blast that can destroy a castle in one go while he's drunk and not really paying attention to anything. He can take the entirety of Luffy's attacks without really feeling anything and can defeat him instantly. And we had a really long, incredible fight scene with Katakuri, where we saw, just how much Luffy, has come, that he managed to only just beat him, and it was like really cool. And then this guy's like on a whole other level. That is true. I feel like the literal things that have happened are intimidating. I think what you're like not complaining about, but like having issues with, is just the way that it was portrayed, or like the way it was shown, or like the literal panels, and like whether or not it's cool enough.
It probably will look better like in the anime. I think that's probably true. They'll probably hype up the dragon beam and stuff more, and because it was just kind of, I don't know, kind of matter of fact, I guess. Yeah, I guess I want a little more pomp and circumstance. I guess that's kind of what I'm quote unquote complaining about. But you know what? You know what else it is though? It seems to me that Kaido's raw power level is kind of low, just in terms of like the stuff he's done so far. And I guess the Dragon Breath like is the thing that makes him intimidating. But like, think about Big Mom's power. It was so pervasive. It's so like widespread, and she could do so fucking much. She could change the goddamn weather. She could raise the sea and make tidal waves. She could, like inhabit an entire archipelago of islands and like control everything that's happening everywhere. Her power was so intimidating right from the start. Like Whitebeard, another Yonko, that boy fucking could tilt an entire island. Like, now that's power. Now that's intimidating. Kaido can make a castle explode. It's just, okay, that's cool, but I want more, damn it. A buggy ball. I'm saying it. A buggy ball could do what Kaido did. A fucking buggy ball. Kaido is literally below buggy level. That's what I'm saying here on the podcast. That's my official stance. Buggy greater than Kaido. That's where I'm at. I want Kaido. God damn it. I don't know.
The thing is, though, I think you want Kaido to be something that he isn't.
You might be right.
He is just a brute force guy, and that doesn't really care about getting hit because nothing can damage him.
Okay,
so
but you know what I need?
Doesn't go all out.
I've got it.
Time.
You're absolutely right. I've got it. What made Katakuri intimidating? For example, Katakuri isn't like the most crazy powerful guy in the world. He's like a physical brawler with some cool, weird mochi powers. But you know what? Actually, Katakuri had the benefit of like being low key, and like we didn't have expectations for Katakuri, and then he got built up and be the greatest character of all time. Whereas Kaido has been built up for decades and stuff. So, or I don't know, a decade maybe or two. And so yeah, like I'm trying to keep expectations low, and like, but Katakuri showed us how strong he is by like fighting Luffy, taking out a bunch of people, and I guess Kaido's done the same. But like, you know what it is? My expectations are just set really, really high. That's what it is. And Kaido is a general. he's not like, I don't know, a meme devil fruit user whose devil fruit is like Sugar, or one of these characters whose like devil fruit is like crazy powerful, or even like Big Mom. He's a guy with a club, and he's also a dragon who can shoot laser beams. So you know what? I guess it's true. I should try not to expect the same thing from this guy, even though it's kind of underwhelming.
I think that he's cool. I agree that he's like less like, oh my god, Kaido, I can't believe. Because when he first appeared as a dragon, that was cool.
Yeah,
but like it was immediately undercut by comedy, which I also like.
How many dragons have we seen in fucking... dragons are fucking passe, almost.
The thing about Kaido coming into the chat and into Wano so quickly is really just that we haven't got a sense of his crew's power level, or that there even are a lot of them.
That's true.
Like, we've seen a few...
know anything. We haven't had the big, like, thing of, like, remember that Doflamingo shot of him, like, with all his crew members when we first met them? We need, like, that.
We don't have a sense of how he's controlling Wano. We have a sense of how Orochi is, with his, like, regime and stuff. But, like, Kaido himself, I think it's the fact that he's sharing the villain spot with a shogun and a bunch of evil samurais. Like, I don't know who's on Kaido's crew or not.
We need to find out.
The fact that he was the one who intercepted Speed was a bit like...
Yeah, like, it was Kaido himself, a Yonko. It wasn't like one of his many minions. It was... Frankly, that makes Kaido seems like weaker. Like, it should have been one of his, like, infinite troops or something. But no, it was literally Kaido. And
I mean,
it was a little girl, and the centaur didn't even fucking die. She's fine.
Like in a way, it could be spun to be like really intimidating. Like, his crew is tiny, but he's a Yonko just because of himself, like doing most of the work.
That'd be fine.
But there's something to be said.
Yeah.
There's something to be said about like a ruler being built up from like in the shadows. Like you see the effects of their stuff before you meet them. Like like imagine seeing Ganon in Legend of Zelda like immediately, instead of like people talk of like I remember hearing this in like some video. I forget what it was, but they were talking about how in the original Legend of Zelda people talk about Ganon and you have no idea what Ganon is.
Yeah.
And then right at the end of the game you fight him. I think it was an AVGN episode actually. And it was like the build-up of like what this horrible beast is that caused all these problems and is the villain and has made all these dungeons dangerous. Yeah. Is like a big mystery, and you're like, what is this guy? How fucking terrifying could he possibly be? And then you fight him right at the end. And then this is like, he comes in early, which is like novel, but like that's all it is.
Yeah, that's true. It's kind of like actually like in Link to the Past. Oh, sorry, not Link to the Past. Fucking Ocarina of Time. You meet Ganon like leaving the castle fairly early on in the game, and then
that's a different sort of thing, because he
knocks you into the moat or something.
He knocks you down, and there's a lightning blast. It's scary.
That's right. It is different. That's true. Yeah, and you know what? Okay, you know what? I apologize to everyone for wasting your time. It's true, Gabe. You're right in that I should not have the same exact expectations for Katakuri as Big Mom or Whitebeard or Shanks or anybody, because it's easy to overhype like Yonko guys. Like, oh my god, what legendary powers are they gonna have? Like, because fucking Kaido just is like the strongest guy. He also is a dragon. Like, it's enough to just be that and be able to just beat up everybody. Because that's what Luffy is. That's what Katakuri is, essentially. And they're, like, two of the strongest guys in the series so far. So, I'll try to adjust my expectation from here on. It seems that Kaido really is, like, a straightforward fighter. And I'll tell you this. Because Kaido isn't, like, a weird meme fighter, frankly, he's set up for a much more straightforward fight at the end of the arc, I'd say. If we're going to do, like, a big kind of group fight or even a 1v1 where, like, Kaido's maybe gotten weakened by some plan they did, and then Luffy goes up against him to take him down after he's weakened or something. So maybe that's what he's being built up for. That's all fine. So I apologize for bringing in my expectations when really I shouldn't. Although I will say that Big Mom basically was Kaido only with an additional really cool power. Because, like... we didn't even ask for like a literally invincible character, but Big Mom was built up as literally invincible unless you make
Smash her picture.
Yeah, unless you smash. Yeah, literally invincible is what we were told, and I believe it. I believe it. So Kaido should at least be on that level. He's been called the strongest creature. So let's. How come Whitebeard wasn't called like the strongest? Well, so Whitebeard was called the strongest man, but why wasn't Big Mom if Big Mom is literally invincible? Oh, because she's the woman. She was the strongest woman.
Strongest woman.
You know what? That makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah, and Luffy's the strongest boy. That's his thing.
Yeah. It's probably true. Okay, well that sums up my thoughts. I think next chapter we're gonna get a thing, and I think there's one next week. Yeah, it doesn't say there isn't. I think we're gonna get a thing next chapter that's like, I think next chapter is gonna be really good. I think our guys are gonna scramble to get away from Kaido. I think Kaido's drunkenness is gonna be like a thing that helps them get away. And I'm hoping that we like meet new characters like Kaido's crew, like his high-level guys besides Jack. That's what I want, and I at this point I'm ready to learn more about Kaido and his boys. I think it's time for that.
I want to speculate a little bit about like
Sure.
what the fuck is Luffy gonna do here?
Oh right, I think he's gonna lay over and die.
Like we got Law waiting in the wings. Maybe
Law must be
to-
so
to
fucking
save
pissed
him.
right now. He's like, I fucking told you not to fight the boy, but you did it anyway.
What if Law just took Kaido's head off with his power, and then his head was off?
I mean, if he gets a little, Trafalgar Law samurai cut in there, he could cut it off. That'd be good. That'd be good.
You're probably too slow for that, but yeah, I think maybe Law could save Luffy, or Kaido could kidnap Luffy, but then
Yeah.
it would be kind of like Big Mom again. I don't really know.
I think
I feel
Law
like I feel like his drunkenness might come into play. It was just like, whatever. Fuck. He just goes, because like I like the idea that he's still drunk while this is happening, and that is going to affect the way that he deals with this situation.
I think
and like
so.
maybe he wouldn't have even gotten mad if he wasn't drunk, and he would have laughed.
Maybe. I think Law is going to be our salvation here, because he's going to be like, wait, Kaido, I'm a doctor, and I know how to deal with the hangovers and stuff. And he's like, just drink this big bottle of Heal All. And he'll drink it, but you see, it will be poison, and he will die instantly. And they'll say, wow, well, that was... Good job, Law. Good job, Luffy. Mission accomplished. That's my prediction.
That's how they kill Kaidos. They spike the alcohol.
Yeah.
With
They're going to do that to Shanks too.
poison.
When they get to Shanks, he'll just drink the beverage of death and die. And also,
all they need to do is
Im-sama.
they just need to put water in it, make it too weak, and then they'll die of sadness. This alcohol sucks.
Fucking Kaido's a pussy. He hasn't even tried dying of sadness and depression yet. Just lay down, roll over, and let yourself die. If you're gonna get serious about it, that's how most heroes die, as I understand it. All right, I've got nothing else to say. Any other points to make? Predictions?
Nope.
Okay, me neither. Looking forward to next chapter. I would say I hope it sounded like it, but I did enjoy this chapter quite a bit. It did a lot of what I hoped and wanted it to do. I got my nitpicks, but it was a good chapter. Very, very good, solid. I mean, it was kind of just like one of those fighting chapters where, like, blah blah blah, things had to happen. I'll be interested to see what happens with the Tama thing. If she's actually dead, I'll be
Nate, she's
frankly
not
impressed.
actually dead. There's no way.
You don't think so? You don't think there's any chance?
I think there's no chance at all.
No, I think there's a little chance. There's a little chance she actually
I think
died.
there's a chance that she could die later on, but I don't think like right now, off screen.
It would be a really weird death off screen, and like, yeah, I'm thinking it's like, I'm gonna give it a 1% chance, just so that maybe it's possible. I won't say zero. Yeah, I don't know. Want to see what happens with that?
Ever the diplomat, Nate boy, the captain.
That's me. I'm a Law, people. As much as I hate
Yeah.
it.
Oh, dude, we're the two different types of captains. You're the Law captain. I'm the Luffy captain.
That's true. That is true, actually. Yeah. Hashtag
I
Law
win.
is the
I'm the
best.
main character. I punched the dragon on the head, and I got beat by the club, and I'm dead.
Yeah, meanwhile, I'm over here counting my shekels and scheming how I'm going to get out of here. As Law does. There it is.
All right.
All right. Thank you, everyone. That's another episode in the can and in the trash. We'll see you next week, hopefully, with another episode. Goodbye. Patreon.com/thepodcastpirates. We don't have a Twitter. We should make one someday, probably. The PCP one. Follow that. And join the Discord. Link down in the description. You can join there for free, but you'll be a cool guy if you pay me. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you next week. Oh, and him too, of course. Bye.
Goodbye.